Hello everyone, it's Ghost here and welcome to episode 13 of Ghost Goes Places. Today we are starting work on the portfolio I need to build for an interview I have coming up. Technically, at the point in which you're seeing this, I've already done 3 of the other dresses that are going to be in kind of the collection thing. I'm trying to design a couple more because I want to have like 5, maybe 6. I don't know exactly. I'm just kind of designing and I'll pick the best ones and throw them in. They're all going to be in kind of the same yellowy, goldy, purple colour palette because Royalty was like inspired by a dress that I drew for like you might recall the little section of Hunger Games inspired dresses we did, and I never actually finished all of those because I needed to switch over to doing portfolio work because at the point in which you're seeing this video, I will have sat the last part of my textiles exam yesterday, which means I can no longer take like my portfolio and stuff to like interviews and things until I get it back in October, which it is understandable and all, but it's not the most helpful right now considering I have this interview coming up. So we're doing a full collection of it's a fashion course I'm applying for. So the first dress I am showing you is one that's actually the last one I drew. I just disappeared for 10 minutes to go eat my dinner, so I'm back. I don't know what I was talking about. We're doing the colouring in part of the dress now. I really like when I get to do the colouring in because I get to figure out how to draw different fabrics. But I also realise it is unrealistic that yellow sleeve would stick out like that, but we go with it anyways. One thing that I think is very important if you're going to do fashion designs digitally is make sure you have something where you can alter the opacity easily. Because, to me, the opacity can help reflect what sort of fabric. For example, this dress, other than like an underlayer, would be entirely organza. And if you have been keeping up with Stitching Adventures, I hate the idea of organza just as a fabric. It slides a lot and I personally avoid using it, which is why I haven't exactly ever used it. I've kind of picked it up, messed around with it, looked at what it can do and gone, no. I like the way it looks though when it's actually like used properly. So when I do organza, I will always do, I guess with the case of this skirt, I did a couple of attempts. Pretty sure I was watching the FBI's Imminent Threat crossover when drawing this, which dates this video specifically because I think I watched it the day after they came out. So if you are interested in figuring out when I filmed this kind of footage that you were seeing, you can just go figure that out. But when I do different materials, I'll add like different textures, whether I do like crossed bits or blur out a colour, and I will use that to make it look like the fabric I want it to look like because it looks pretty. At some point in time, I ended up scrapping everything I had already done to make the texture because I didn't like it and redid it. Now, this dress doesn't have much purple. I realised that. It has a singular purple band, and that is about it. I guess maybe you'd wear it with like a purple scarf thing. You know where people do like the thing where they don't actually wear like those scarf things as a scarf and they kind of just drape it over like their elbows and they walk around and look all pretty with it. You do that and you might wear it with, say, purple gloves. I guess alternatively the dress could be longer and then it would be more suitable for a look like that with the gloves. But I didn't want to draw a full-length organza dress, because one day if I decide to make this thing, I do not want to have to hem that much organza. Like, god damn, that would be horrible. So, the other part of this is doing rhinestones, which, to do rhinestones, I do one layer, and then duplicate the layer, put the second layer as a glow one, and shift them off ever so slightly. I then added an obnoxious amount of leaves to the big branch thing, because I decided, let's do stuff with gold leaves. What's the motifs of this? Gold leaves, purple, and gold/yellow. And also making myself hate half the materials that would be appropriate for these dresses. There is a common theme here. I hate the No, I don't hate the colour palette. Normally, I won't put purple and yellow together, but this purple and yellow, it looked good together, which is why it's put together. I don't like it as a concept, though, as the colours. Let's just say, there wasn't any colours that I personally thought would look better. Oh yeah, and then I added a bunch of rhinestones to the skirt, and that was painful. But, if the shades were even ever so slightly different, I don't think they'd work. These shades, they work, they're nice. The purple adds the big pop of colour. I need to do, like, another more, like, mostly gold dress, because there's a lot of purple on a lot of the dresses. And while it looks pretty, it means that the collection isn't necessarily the most cohesive thing, because you need balance. I also need kind of a big showstoppery dress thing that would go right at the end if it was a runway collection. Though I guess if it was a runway collection, you'd have more dresses. I have more designs I could do, I just have a 30-minute interview. And this is dress number 1. So, to summarise, at the 6-minute mark, I constantly go on about how much I hate organza. I also hate the fact that I then decided to outline every single one of the leaves, but if I didn't, they kind of just blended in. And I can obviously take away that layer if I decide down the line it doesn't look good, which is why I save everything as a TIFF file. If you're working on a drawing and you want to use multiple layers, do not save it as a JPEG. Also, if you think there is any chance you might need to go back into that file and change it, don't save it as just a JPEG. Make 2 saves. And as always now, we are going on to drawing the hair, which is a very simple hairstyle, and that's what I'm going to tell you about that. Oh, I think I also added, like, some sort of flower crowny thing. I'm not really sure what it was. I don't remember what I actually did because it changed from the original design, I think. Oh, we did a half kind of gold leaf crown because that was on one of the other outfits, I think. We'll see when we get to that. But yeah, that's dress number 1 for this silly little collection I have to speedrun for the purposes of an interview that I have coming up. I think we'll actually look at me trying to build a portfolio with samples and stuff, because I want to show off with my gold work people, because I did that first try and it looked so damn good, and we're going to use that. Goodbye, the internet.